I have some of the best poll numbers I've ever had. And the war, stopping Iran from having a nuclear weapon is a positive thing, not a negative thing.
Andy, the Trump administration is having fun.
Dude, they're on fire recently. Winning, nothing but winning.
Nothing but winning and having a blast doing
You
it.
know, Trump said that we were going to get sick of all his winning, and I can tell you, I'm getting sick of this.
I'm so tired of them winning.
Just there. Anyhow, sorry. What winning do you have in mind?
Well, I just want to say I think this might have been like a celebration of some sort, but
Oh,
did you see that Hegseth and Kid Rock went for a airplane or a helicopter ride?
well, they weren't riding the same Apache. They were riding side by side in different Apaches, which apparently, like for the military, like it's standard that you have like it's like a pilot and it's not a weapons officer. It's basically a co-pilot. So
Yeah.
like just to have a civilian go for a joyride in Apache, that's not something that's normally done because you need two qualified people up there.
Well, they could have ridden in the back, but they both wanted to ride in the front of the Apaches, so they had to kick out the co-pilot
Yeah,
so that
so
Kid Rock could. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, interesting. And
I
this was
did
like
see that.
this is like what, a month after they got in trouble for them doing a flyby at Kid Rock's house?
Yeah, and then they Hegseth has been in front of a couple different committees this week, and somebody asked him about that flyby because if you remember, the Secretary of the Army said that they were going to investigate that, and then Hegseth like tweeted and said investigation canceled. You're welcome, or something like that. And they asked him, and he was like, "Yeah."
You're
He's like, I unilaterally by myself canceled the investigation. What are you going to do about it? And like it was a dick move, but also like, yeah, what are they going to do about it? They have no power to do anything about it unless they want to try to impeach him, but they're not going to do that. So
no. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Hopefully Hegseth's on his way out. This seems like it's Cash and then Hegseth. Like these are the next two out the door.
The only thing you can't get rid of Hegseth while this Iran thing is still going on, and I don't know how much longer. Like they started by saying weeks, not months. Every time you'd ask them about that, they'd say weeks, not months. Well, we just crossed 8 weeks, so we're starting. We've done 2 full months, and we're starting our third month. Like sooner or later, they're going to start saying, "Well, we're talking about months, not years," and they're going to do that until we cross a year. I don't think this goes more than a year, honestly, but. I think that we're in danger of this spiraling a little bit, but let's save Iran for down the road here. I got a couple things in front of Iran.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
real quick, the hold on before we get to that. Remember we were talking last time about how the White House what is it the White House press correspondence dinner how like all the most important people were in that one room and normally there is a lone survivor, a designated survivor is what they call them. Did we talk about this at all? I don't know if we did on the air. We might not have done it
I
on the pod.
remember you saying designated survivor, but I'm blanking on what the hell that
So
is.
whenever there's like a State of the Union address, like that's the main one where like the whole government shows up for this. Well, they always designate one person to be the designated survivor, and that person is in a safe house, like somewhere in a different city, like out of there, so that if
Sure.
one bomb hits the Capitol, we have a continuity of government. Somebody's there to keep leading.
Because normally you don't see the vice president and the president in the same room, except for this administration. You see them all the time together.
Well, at the White House or at the Capitol, it's kind of common, but normally outside of there, you wouldn't see that. But anyhow, we were wondering last time who the designated survivor was, and it's always somebody weird like the energy secretary or somebody that you wouldn't think of. Well,
Hmm.
this time,
Tulsi.
no, Chuck Grassley. Which do you know who Chuck Grassley is?
Uh, yeah.
Do you know how old Chuck Grassley is?
No.
He's 92 years old. He, he's
Okay.
he, he's a 92-year-old senator from Iowa. Like, if we're gonna leave one person that's the potential person to survive and lead the government, let's not pick the 92-year-old guy. Like Jesus God. So anyhow, Chuck Grassley was our designated survivor for the correspondence
Okay.
dinner the other night.
And this
So
was the correspondence dinner where everybody was there. Security was pretty laxed. And I just heard some new stuff where they're thinking the guy never even shot a weapon. He never
so
even fired.
that's been going around, and then just today, I think like late today, like this afternoon, they filed some new stuff claiming they have evidence that he shot a Secret Service officer in the chest, and that Secret Service officer is the one who returned fire. Now they're saying he fired a 12 gauge shotgun, a Mossberg 93. if you get even if you're wearing a vest, and they said at point blank range is what the court filing says. If you get shot by a 12 gauge, buckshot, birdshot, I don't care, and even if you're wearing a vest at point blank, like that's gonna knock you down. Like that's gonna probably leave a
Big
bruise or
time.
break some ribs. But in the video they released with this, which I didn't pull, like as he's running, it's right when he's running through that video we've seen, like the gun points, you don't see a muzzle flash, you don't see anything, and that's where they claim like literally almost touching the guy in the chest with a barrel pulled it. That's when they claim, and then you see that guy immediately pull his weapon and fire 5 shots, and we're to believe that that dude just got shot in the chest with a 12 gauge and didn't fall down or anything and pulled out his weapon. And I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying like this could be cleared up real quick. Let us see the bulletproof vest. Like the bulletproof vest is either going to have one
No, no,
hole.
no, no. They've already like written kill ice on bullets on bullet
Yeah, it's true.
casings. Like they would go
I'm
out and
just saying,
shoot a bulletproof vest
like,
just to show. And hold on, this is all going to come out in court, right? So why do they keep lying when this it all just
I don't.
comes out later?
I'm not officially saying they're lying. I'm just saying this is a little unbelievable because here, like. They said for the first like 3 days after the event, they said we're still trying to ascertain whether the Secret Service agent was shot by friendly fire or by the guy with the 12 gauge. That doesn't take 3 days. Where's the guy's vest at? There's either going to be a 9 mil stuck in it, or there's going to be a whole bunch of little BBs. I could show me it, and I can tell you in 2 seconds whether he got shot by friendly fire or by the 12 gauge. It's a real quick thing. The fact that it took them 3 days to determine that makes me think
Oh,
that they're fudging the
they're
numbers.
still investigating who shot that school, who bombed that school in Iran.
Oh yeah, that's we don't know for sure that was us yet, even
Yeah,
though
I've got
everybody knows it was us. So
I've got some questioning on that later.
okay. So anyhow, that was our lone survivor. The other quick thing, the shutdown of DHS. I don't even know if you remember that DHS has been mostly shut down. Remember Trump ordered which I don't think he has the power to do, but nobody cares. He ordered TSA to start getting paid. Nobody really fought him on that, but we've
Yeah.
still been under a DHS shutdown. Now, about 35 to 40 days ago,
So then who
De-
wasn't getting paid?
uh, so ICE supposedly, but ICE is getting funded separately. But like the Coast Guard and a couple of random DHS, the Coast Guard's the one that sticks out to me. There were several groups. I'm just forgetting
Okay.
them, and I should have had that info prepared. Sorry. But like I think it's been like it's like the longest agency shutdown in history. It's been like 70 something days. Me and you have forgotten about it. Um,
It's a long
35 to
time.
40 35 to 40 days ago, the Democrats said, "Hey, we will fund TSA, ICE, or no, sorry, not ICE, TSA, Coast Guard, like all the other ones. We'll fund all those except for ICE and Border Patrol." Okay. And Republicans said, nope, it's all or nothing. And that went back and forth for a while. The Senate passed, and I think it was exactly 35 days ago, the Senate passed a bill to fund everything but ICE and Border Patrol. And the House said, nope, we're not signing that. It's all or nothing. So it just kind of went away. Well, today, so the House is taking another one of its like 2 or 3 week long recesses where they're just going home on vacation. And of course, they called off all the votes tomorrow. Today's Thursday. As soon as today, like 4 o'clock hit, they were all out for 3 weeks.
Right.
But they wanted to be able to leave. And they basically, at the last minute, decided, okay, we're going to pass this Senate passed bill to fund everything except for it's exactly what the Democrats have been offering for a long time. So you could say the Democrats won this shutdown. Technically, ICE and Border Patrol are still not funded, but they got funded separately by the Big Beautiful bill. So, like, they got enough money. Like, they're doing okay. But
Great.
you could say that Republicans caved today to what the Democrats had been offering all along. Mike Johnson is going to say it a little differently.
Don't doubt the House Republican majority. We always deliver for the American people. We did it again, in spite of the challenges, and we continue to do that.
Mr. Speaker, this is the third shutdown in 6 months.
So he's claiming a win or a loss as a win.
He's like taking a victory lap. Like, despite all the odds, us House Republicans got it done. Dude, it's been on your desk for 35 days. You wouldn't bring it up for a vote because I guess maybe he should be celebrating because he got his whole Republican committee to vote yes. Maybe there are a lot of holdouts, but this has been, if anything, he's been negotiating with Republicans have been negotiating against each other for this. Democrats that's what they've been offering. Nothing
But
has changed.
the whole fight, the whole reason it was shut down was because they wanted everybody else funded except for ICE.
Yes,
The
that's what
Republicans did not want ICE funded, or the Democrats didn't want ICE funded, and the Republicans did.
Yeah.
That was the argument. That was the whole argument.
And
ICE didn't get funded. Bill got passed. Mike Johnson,
is
the
taking a
Republican,
victory lap. So
celebrates.
that's going to set the
Makes no
theme real
sense.
quick. I love that we started with that video because that's going to set the theme for my next segment. Okay. They're just going to bullshit us. Like, what are they going to do? The midterms are coming up and, this is bad and that's bad. What are they going to do? They're just going to bullshit us. Okay. That's the whole theme going forward. Get ready because it gets a little astounding. Before I'm going to cut myself off real quick. Before we get to that, the ballroom. It's kind of bullshitting us as well. In fact, totally bullshitting us here. But for the last year, Trump's been talking about this ballroom. Do you remember? He said it on several occasions. I'm going to say dozens of occasions. Who's paying for the ballroom?
Not tax dollars.
Not the taxpayer. This is all privately funded.
I-
Not a cent from the taxpayers. He said that on numerous occasions.
Mhm.
Well, Lindsey Graham has something to say about that. He came out, and I think this was like Sunday night or Monday night. All of a sudden, the Republicans are holding a special press conference. Let's let Lindsey Graham tell us what's going on with the ballroom.
We're going to introduce legislation that would authorize $400 million to be spent to secure to build the presidential ballroom. Underneath, there will be a lot of military stuff. There will be a Secret Service annex. And we've paid for it by offsetting it with custom fees. But the estimate is $332 million. We're going to do $400 million because I think it's probably going to take more.
Like, here's the thing. If this was any other president and they actually had taste in like decor and they weren't gonna like overshadow the actual White House and they were gonna build a reasonable ballroom with some, bunker military, maybe even a doctor's office below, operating table, whatever they need. And it wasn't Trump who might try and stay in office because this thing's not going to be built before he leaves.
I don't see how. I mean, if anything, he'll get to enjoy it for like the last half a year to a year tops. Like he'll get to have an event or two in there at most.
This just makes me think he doesn't want to leave.
I was thinking that at first, but I think it's more. I think a lot of what he's doing right now is about legacy, like the arch, the ballroom. Like he wants a way where 50 years from now, 100 years from now, people go, oh, that's the Trump ballroom or that's the Trump victory arch or whatever it is. Why do we have Canada as a state? Oh, well, Trump was very brave and he made them become the 51st state. Like he's only worried about legacy.
Andy, I have something else that Trump wants to put his name on. Have you? I don't know if you've seen this yet, but you're right. He wants to put his name on everything, right?
Okay.
And here, I'm just going to let Secular Talk tell you about this.
Very clearly, it says Donald Trump's special envoy for global partnerships is flying to Africa on a mission of high importance to change the name of Mount Kilimanjaro to Mount Trump. Quote, I was talking to the minister of Tanzania. I said, I'm coming home, but I'm changing the name. Paolo Zampoli said in Washington on Friday. Now, by the way, correct me if I'm wrong, those of you in the comments.
Hold on. I missed the beginning of it. Who is it that's saying they're going to work on this?
Hold on. His special envoy for global partnerships.
I'm guessing you didn't look up to see who that was, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay, well,
we can figure it out.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's one of those things that's never going to happen. If they change the name, was that Mount Kilimanjaro?
Yeah.
If they change that to be Mount Trump in Africa, I don't know what I don't think that's really going to happen. I'm afraid to say that I'll do something because it'll probably then happen.
Well, apparently this guy has dirt on Trump with
Is it that Paulo Zimpoli guy?
Yeah, under Epstein.
That's the guy so that guy's wife is what spurred the whole Melania coming out like 2 weeks ago and making all her just, hey, by the way, I'm not friends with Epstein. So his wife was a model that was like kind of got brought over the same way that Melania did.
Okay.
And then they have kids together. They're getting divorced. They're in the middle of a custody battle. And he works in the government with Trump. So he like went over to DHS and was like, "Hey, can you get my wife out of the country?" So they like arrested her on the street and deported her ass so that he could have
Oh,
custody of the kids. So now she's in whatever country she came from, and she's got on Twitter and she's basically tweeting all these vague like, "Hey, I know about this, I know about that." She's tweeted at Melania a couple times. So the
mm.
fact that she's in a different country, she's pissed. She says she has the dirt, and whatever she knows. That spurred Melania to then come out and say, "Hey, just so everybody's clear, I had nothing to do with Epstein." It was
That's
because of
so
that. So
interesting.
that's so funny. Okay, small
Okay.
world.
So he might, and Mount Kilimanjaro is the highest freestanding mountain in the world. So Trump wants his name on the tallest freestanding mountain in the world.
Sure, whatever. Yeah.
It's gonna
He
be like the Gulf where like people
Nobody cares. He's going to start calling him out Trump, and the rest of the world won't.
Yeah.
But before we get to the economy, you're leading me perfectly into this. The whole thing where we have these big banners hanging all over the government buildings in D.C. with his picture on it and whatnot. Like
Yeah.
that's a little North Korea-ish.
Very.
Have you seen the new passports?
No,
Check it.
he can't do this.
Oh, he has done this.
No.
He did. It's the
That's
special.
gotta be fake.
It's not. The White House put that out, man.
Oh,
That's a tweet. That image is from the White House.
no way. I mean, he's doing it on the park passes
Dude,
too.
so I have that as well. But my wife actually said because she was considering getting our daughter's passport sometime in the next year or two, and when I showed her that, she was like, "Well, I'm not getting her, I'm not getting the kid a passport for a while because I'd hate to have her have that passport."
What a narcissist. I need to look at my passport. There's no president face on my
No,
passport.
right now it's just like the flag and maybe like the Capitol or something like that. And then
Dude.
since you brought it up, the National Park Pass.
Oh God, that is so gross.
Yep, that is this year's National Park Pass. So,
How
and
many
then
people do you think put a sticker over Trump's face?
I'll bet they've like if you do that, it's voided. They won't let you into the park.
No, I guarantee you most park rangers are not Trump fans. He's not only is
Yeah,
he like he's bad for our public lands. Like there's no way that he should be anywhere near the park pass.
at least right now they're not talking about selling our public lands. I don't know. Maybe they already sold
No,
all
they
the ones.
are. They're
Okay,
still doing it. Yeah,
they're just not
that
talking about
asshole
it.
in Utah is still
Mike,
going for it.
Mike
And
Lee.
they actually just sold off some land for a copper mine. I don't know if it's China or somebody bought the rights to use that a copper mine to build a copper mine in the Boundary Waters, which is going to completely fuck
I
up the Boundary Waters.
I did see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, um, real quick, two one more thing with Trump and his face everywhere. Have you seen the statue that he put at his golf course in Doral? This is only important because there's like a PGA tournament in the next couple of weeks at this golf course.
Is
So he
his
has.
golf course good enough to have a PGA tournament?
Yeah, it's the tournament's been there for a number of years, so this is gonna
Okay.
stop. But this is the statue he put up right out. It's huge.
Is that when he got shot?
That might be the fight, fight, fight. I'm not really sure. So if you remember in the video of his presidential library, there was a gold statue at one point, and it was him doing the. So this might have been inspired from the AI video. I'm not sure. But does this look familiar at all to you?
No.
So what's interesting, when I saw this, I had one thought, and luckily everybody else on Twitter had the same thought because I saw it a lot.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's got a Kim Jong Un vibe. Which, like I said, all the banners hanging off of buildings downtown with his face on it, like they're putting his face on a special commemorative coin, which is the Constitution flat out says no living president. You can do a dead ex-president, but no person while they're still alive. We're putting his face on a coin. His face is on buildings. His face is on the passport. His face is on the National Park Pass. I feel like we're missing something. What else? He's putting his face on everything he can.
He's building a ballroom.
The
He's building a Trump Day arch.
the Trump
Arch.
savings accounts, like
Oh,
everything's just named after Trump.
he's
So
putting his name on everything. A mountain now?
yeah, that's crazy. And then I didn't pull anything for this, but apparently Amazon, which Amazon's been kissing because it's Jeff Bezos. he's kissing up to Trump in every way. I don't know. I guess it's all tax break wise, like for him owning Amazon and everything. But
Yeah. Well,
they,
it's tax break and it's also like legislation breaks.
that's probably it.
Yeah.
And yeah, all that stuff. But if you remember, he gave like for the rights to the Melania movie, he gave Melania $40 million on top of like the another 43 million he spent to make it. Anyhow, the Amazon owned by Bezos is in talks right now with Don Jr. to bring back The Apprentice, and it'll be Don Jr. instead of Donnie J. Yeah, so we might have The Apprentice coming back, which
Oh my God.
starring Don Jr. Yeah. Anyhow, so
People are gonna watch it. That's the thing.
the MAGA will watch it. Yeah, they'll watch it religiously. And
Well,
it doesn't matter if they do or not, because if Bezos spends $50 million doing a couple seasons of this, he's gonna make way more than that in tax breaks that he's getting in tax incentives.
no, he already did. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He already made that in tax breaks, but also like if there's a piece of legislation or a court case or something, he can kind of basically do whatever. That's the thing with these giant businesses like sucking up to Trump is they basically get a free rein on doing anything. Like
Well,
with this crypto shit where
mhm.
they're basically letting them or no AI stuff where they're just basically letting them run free with no rules, no regulations. Like every single one of these giant corporations like Amazon and Tesla and you name it, they're all Meta. They're all making billions of dollars on top of billions of dollars because of this legislation that they're
Well, and
putting through.
I pulled nothing from it because it's HBO, but John Oliver, his show is called Next Week Tonight. It's on Sunday nights on HBO.
Love
His
that
was
show.
on, it was on AI chatbots this week. You can find it on
Mhm.
YouTube. Strongly suggest you watch it. It's interesting and scary. And like the chatbots, like Grok was programmed to where it wouldn't teach you how to make a bomb or something like that. And apparently, if you just ask it like 5 times in a row, it'll finally tell you. Like it was just examples of that. And it was like, dear God. Anyhow. Um, we got to talk about the economy real quick. We got new numbers out today. Just so you know, the March GDP came in at 2%. It was expected to be 2.2%. So only 0.2% under. Now, flashback to February, and February came in at like right around 2%, and then it got revised down to like 1.2, and then the final revision took it to 0.5. So we'll see where this ends up. 2% is not good. In fact, if a Democrat was getting 2% GDP, Republicans would be losing their shit because that's not strong enough. That's stagnant GDP. But the Trump base or the Trump people came out today and they were taking a victory lap at the fact that it was 2, still under what was projected, but 2, and that's way better than they thought. They were afraid it was going to be negative after last month, which again, it still could be after revisions. But
Mm.
that came in at GDP was 2.0%. The March inflation was 3.5%. So I think 3.3 last month. We're going in the wrong direction. It was like 2.9, 3.3, 3.5 now. So I just say this, inflation's not something that you can like flip a switch and all of a sudden it goes from 3.5 back to 1 or 2. Like
Right.
you got to slow it down first, then you got to turn it around. It has a stair step back down. Like the fact that we're at 3.5 right now, like we won't be under 3% for 5 or 6 months at minimum. Just throwing that out there.
Well, and with the oil crisis that's happening and continuing to get worse and worse.
So, and some people were saying, well, with the spike in gas prices, like that's not bad, only being 3.5%, but this is for March, okay? We are at April 30th right now. So, if you think back 30 days ago, we really hadn't started having the big gas spikes that we're experiencing now. It had gone up a good 30 or 40 cents, but now we're at the point where for me it's gone up a buck 40, a buck 30 or a buck 40, which actually went up again today. No, so when this started for me, my gas was sitting around 239 to 243, somewhere in that range, and now we are at 399 where I'm at. So that's a buck 60-ish.
And you're in a
So,
high oil producing state.
so I saw my Oklahoma is one of like the cheapest gasoline states right now. Like,
Yeah.
so anyhow, so and then average gas price is $4.30. Also, turns out we have the lowest what do they call it? Consumer sentiment ever on recorded record. They've been recording consumer sentiment for like 70 years now. It's never been this bad. The people are afraid of what's coming. And with what's going on in Iran, which we'll talk about in a minute, like it doesn't seem like it's about to get better. It's going to get worse before it gets better, almost for
Yeah.
sure. So things are bad. Real quick, I saw this. This was almost a week ago. I think this was on the 24th. And the title is "The Oil Futures Market is Lying to Us." Have you seen anything about this at all? How the Treasury is getting involved in the oil's futures market?
No,
Okay.
nothing.
I'm the last guy that should try to explain this. I don't understand stocks very well. But this article is basically saying that Scott Bessent is using the Treasury and using our tax dollars to try to make the oil futures market appear not as bad as it really is. So when people come out and either long or short the oil market, like he uses our tax dollars to do the opposite of them. So they make a move that will make oil prices spike, and then he injects a lot of our cash in the form of long or short into the market to bring it back down, knowing that that's the wrong move. Like we're going to lose money on that. Like if we're trying to short it, we're going to lose. Or I can't remember if we're trying to short it or long it. I'm not the guy for
But it
this.
makes them look good.
But it makes it appear that gas prices aren't heading in the wrong direction like they really are. And apparently we were doing this
So
all
he's using our tax dollars to lie directly to us.
yes, to try to artificially keep the gas prices appearing that they're down. Okay. So, and this article came out on the 24th, and then a couple other people jumped on it, and now I'd say it's confirmed that he was doing this. And I don't think there's anything illegal about it, but also like you wouldn't want to get caught doing this. Is bad look. And it's a bad investment. He's purposely using our tax dollars to do a bad investment to make Trump and the government not look like they're stupid. Like that's kind of what he's doing. Anyhow,
Do they have to like submit like a record of everything they're spending our tax dollars on? And
I
is that visible to the public?
I don't know. You would think so, but I don't know. I'll bet there's ways they could hide it.
There needs to be a law that says that it
Yeah.
has to be. We have to have an accounting record of every fucking dime that the US government spends of our
Well,
tax dollars.
Donald Trump has repeatedly told me that this is the most transparent administration in the history of the world. So you
Those
would
care
think
love
that
it.
we shouldn't even have to ask. They should just be telling us. But what's interesting is all these stories came out like over a 2 or 3 day period confirming that they were doing this. And now it seems like they've stopped because the cat's out of the bag. Like everybody's on to what they were doing. So they're not doing it now. And just since those stories came out, all of a sudden futures have gone from like 95 to 97 a barrel to I think 117 today. So like I said, we've gone up 40 or 50 cents in the past week, and they're saying like it's going to go up another like 40 to 70 cents next week.
Well,
Because
your boy Wyatt and Grimm is saying by the end of the year it's going to be 180 to 210.
so I don't know anything about the gas market. I'll just say from the very beginning, people were like, we could see $200 a barrel, and that seems ridiculous to me. So I think that people, for no good reason, I think that people that are saying that are being a little ridiculous.
That's
But I don't.
$9 average gas.
Yeah, I don't see any way we could hit that. I'm an idiot though. I don't know anything about the gasoline market, but it's like there's been a handful of people here or there. They're going, it could hit 200, and like, but you never know. I don't know. I don't think it's.
I think it was Ryan Grimm quoting somebody else, so
Yeah, I love
probably
Ryan
somebody
Grimm.
smarter than us, and
Yeah,
Ryan Grimm's pretty damn smart.
That's the thing is, like I said, I have no good reason to tell you that other than I just feel that
And I think the caveat was if we keep it closed for another 2 or 3 months.
yeah. Which right now there's no real end in sight. But again, we'll get to Iran in a second. And the other thing, real quick, Jamie Dimon, and this is Jamie Dimon's the CEO of one of the big banks. I can't even remember what bank it is. But he said, so the headline here from CNBC, Jamie Dimon warns of some kind of a bond crisis ahead as global debt risks build. I read this whole article, and I got to tell you, I don't know. He's saying that he's basically saying it's inevitable. Like every country is adding to their debt now. Basically, it's inevitable that we're going to have some kind of a crash of the bond market. And then what they were extrapolating from that is a crash in the bond market will lead to a crash of all kinds of other things. So that's kind of like the first domino to fall in like a really shitty situation.
It's almost like these billionaires, they're just riding this wave of oh, we have so much fucking money, we're gonna ride this wave all the way. But you know what happens when that wave crashes?
Let me hear it.
The people rise up against the billionaires.
I've been telling you that, like, that's how you get a communist revolution, is the billionaire class gets a little too greedy. Like, they got to let us have just enough to feel like we're okay. But if they
Hmm.
get too greedy, then the people revolt. And like, I'm not at all wanting a communist revolution here, but like, this is the recipe for it. Like, the billionaires aren't letting us believe that we're doing all right. So get ready
Yeah.
for it. Clearly, okay, again, real quick, GDP 2%. And on the topic of GDP at 2%, real quick, just for fun, the experts, the Fed, was projecting 2.2% this quarter.
Okay.
Howard Lutnick, about 6 weeks ago, had a different projection. Let's hear what he had to say.
I think we're going to grow more than 5% GDP this quarter, and that's for the $30 trillion U.S. economy. And if rates were lower, you would see us hit 6%. What is holding us back is ourselves, okay? We are going to align our economy and our industrial policy with growth and success, and we hope to export that.
So,
You know,
5%.
what was that website that like tallied everybody's lies?
Oh, I don't remember that one.
There, there was one
Yeah.
that was doing it. I think they quit because Trump was lying so much. There was like in his first term, they had tallied like 35,000 lies in 4 years or something like
Well,
that.
I'll say this: that video, Lutnick, you can add to the list of Hegseth and Cash Patel. If the economy doesn't get better, he's going to have to fire somebody as a sacrificial lamb, and it appears that he likes Besant more than Lutnick. So if somebody's got to be, he's going to serve somebody's head up on a platter, it's going to be Lutnick. So just keep that in mind.
Fuck, I hate Dissent so much too. I can't imagine which one. I can't. It doesn't make any sense that he has two fucking idiots running the whole economy. Lutnick
And
and Dissent. Like these guys are fucking morons.
so they're not. Then here's the thing. Both of Besant and Letnick both ran like major stock companies. Like they have business sense. That's all I'm saying. Like they became millionaires and billionaires based off their business intelligence.
So just the policies that they're implementing are fucking stupid.
Or they're stupid if like for us, but if you're a billionaire, the policies they're implementing are fantastic. So it just depends
Mhm.
on who they're working for. Like
Yeah.
yeah. So anyhow, GDP 2%, inflation 3.5, average gas price today $4.30. Things aren't going well. Trump got elected on the economy and the fact that he was going to make the economy better. So the Republicans have a couple different options here. They could change course, or they could just try to sympathize and say, we know that things aren't good. We're trying the war. It's important, blah, 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 for a nuclear weapon. They could do a lot of things. But what they chose to do is bullshit us, stocks. I got two videos I'm going to make you watch here, but this is from this morning. It's important you know this video is from this morning because it's going to sound like this video is from the past. Here's Tim Scott on Maria Bartiromo.
That's great news, by the way. The fact of the matter is that all of the cylinders are kicking. It is good news. You can even feel in our environment how good things are getting. Gas prices continue to come down, which means that your groceries will come down a little bit as well. We've got a lot of good signs in the economy. We just need to continue to execute and have confidence in the choices the American people have made by making President Trump their president and keeping majorities, Republican majorities, in both the House and the Senate.
I'm not sure there's a single human being that believes what they're spewing.
What all did he say there? We've delivered on our promises. Gas prices are continuing to come down, which is continuing to bring food prices down.
Yeah.
No,
who's buying that? Like everybody goes to the fucking grocery store. Everybody goes to the gas station.
That's it.
Everybody sees the prices increasing.
I was talking to my boss this morning about specifically the gas prices because you can try to lie about grocery prices and like some people don't pay attention to the cost of a banana or whatever, but like gas prices are the one thing that you can't leave your house without noticing. It's on a big billboard for everybody to see that passes through an intersection. Here's what the price of gas is today. You can't, even if you don't need gas, you can't help but look over and see it. So that's like the one thing that you just
when you
can't.
fill up your tank and it goes from, I drive a Subaru Forester and it gets great gas mileage and it has a small tank of gas and it's like, oh, it went from $28 to fill up to $40 to fill up. Like everybody notices these things. It's
I
it's
drive
insane.
I drive a truck, so I would kill to fill it. Like I filled my wife's car up like, about 2 weeks ago, and like I started the little automatic, you get the gas going, and I was kind of just putzing around, and it shut off so quick. I was like, oh, what's wrong? And I looked, and it was full with like 13 gallons worth of gas, and it was like $40. I didn't know that it was possible to fill a vehicle up for $40. That was amazing to me. Like my truck right now is like 75 to $80.
And like I used to go to the grocery store and I buy like 4 or 5 days worth of food, and it was $40. Now it's closer to $80.
Yep. It's again, it's only going to get worse before it gets better. But I will say this. Maria Bartiromo, and we cut the clip there a little bit, but like she never challenged him or corrected him on that. Like we are delivering on our promises. Everybody can feel it. The economy is getting better. Gas prices continue to get lower. Bullshit. Okay. On that same exact morning, this morning, Steve Scalise, who he's like the number 2 guy in the House, he went on CNBC with Joe Kernan. I'll give Joe Kernan credit because Joe Kernan did try to correct the record here. This clip's a little bit longer, but bear with me, it's worth it.
What is do you think there's any way that your party holds on in November to the House?
Absolutely. And look, it's a path that is focused on turnout, number one, and delivery. What we've delivered to finally start turning this mess around that we inherited a year and a half ago. People that will remember, you go back 2 years ago, we were paying almost $6 a gallon for gasoline. Right now it's in the threes. Obviously, we've seen a jump with the Iran conflict.
When were we paying 6?
Still 50.
What,
well, 2.5 years ago.
I don't think
if
we were.
You look at,
that wasn't
if you
the
look
average
at where
price.
we are now, we're over 30% below where we were just 2 years ago. Today, we are 30% below where we were 2 years ago. It's still going to go lower when Iran gets resolved and the Strait of Hormuz gets open. But at the same time, did anybody want a nuclear-armed Iran? I think if you ask most normal people, they would say absolutely not. When they just slaughtered 30,000 of their own people, they were about to get a nuclear weapon. And President Trump stopped that. But that's going to get resolved. President Trump's negotiating that right now. He's negotiated a number of peace deals. They're trying to get a resolution between Russia and Ukraine right now, too. So if you look all across the board, we are lowering inflation. Interest rates have started to come down. They're not where we want to be, by the way. We have a lot of work to do. But do you want to go back to the days where interest rates were in double digits, where inflation was 50% higher than it was today? So we're bringing things down so that we can make life more affordable, but we have more work to do, and that's why we're going to hold the majority.
You must have been on vacation in California. I think 2 years ago, in April of 2024, we were at about 365. So we're actually above where we were then. And I'm not.
No, we were well into the fives under Biden. Well into the fives.
At one point, not 2 years ago.
Most of energy production shut down.
MAGA math makes me mad.
So said we're 30% under where we were 2 years ago. I applaud Joe Kernan there for correcting him. And at the end there, he said we were well into the fives 2 years ago under Biden. I got the numbers here. Now, 2 years ago, like he said, that national average was like 365.
Yeah.
The highest it got under Biden, national average, was June 14th, 2022. That was at the peak of like the supply chain crisis that was going on. And it was 5.016. So if you round that up, that's $5.02 per gallon. Okay. And that's high. That's high. And the whole world was going through shock at that point. And Democrats tried to make the case that America handled that time better than every other country. We kept our gas prices lower. We kept our inflation lower. It appears there's truth to that. Bottom line is it sucked to be an American having to pay for stuff during that time.
Well, it sucks worse to be anywhere else paying for that.
It did. But $5.02 was the high. And Scalise at the very end there, when he realized that Kernan was calling him out and telling him he was wrong, he's like, well, we were well into the fives under Biden. $5.02 is all I'm going to say. And that was 4.5 years ago at this point. Okay. Anyhow,
during a pandemic, right after the pandemic.
That was as the supply chains were all coming back on and we were all starting our lives back. And there was a supply chain bottleneck for a while. That included gas. Again, and there's all kinds of polling. I didn't pull it, but Harry Enton, Trump right now has the worst approval on the economy and inflation ever. even worse than Jimmy Carter in 1979, which that was nobody thought anybody would be worse than that, but it's worse than Biden. Biden had a higher inflation. There was a couple of months where it was like 9% inflation under Biden. The reason that Trump's polling is worse is because a lot of people understood that Biden was dealing with a crisis, and you could maybe say, oh, well, he didn't deal with it perfectly. Okay, it's hard to deal with things perfectly, but he was trying. In this case, a lot of Americans realized that this is Trump's choice. Trump made a decision to attack Iran that is directly leading to inflation spiking. So
to tariff every single country in the entire world.
So
he made that choice. He's actually doing everything to increase inflation.
He's 49 points underwater on the economy right now. That's worse than Biden ever was. Like, this is ridiculous. So anyhow, midterms are coming up. I really thought for a while I was telling you, I was like, well, Republicans have time to kind of course correct. They could get rid of the tariffs and do this and that and maybe get the economy turned around by late summer, which would help them going into the midterms. I don't think they have enough time to course correct, number one. I don't think they have the intention to course correct. What they're going to do is they're just going to try to bullshit everybody and say, no, the economy's great. Gas prices continue to come down. Grocery prices continue to come down. We have delivered what we promised we would deliver. Like, that's what they're going to try to do. And Fox News is still letting them get away with it. Other than that, like, I don't think anybody else is. And like, especially like in the podcast world, they're really not. I think they're in trouble. I truly do. And I will say Trump has one solution for the midterm, or he has one that would work if he could do it. This is comical to me just because this goes along with the bullshitting.
And it is a problem. I'm not on the ballot. And I have to convince, everyone says if I was on the ballot would win in a landslide. I have some of the best poll numbers I've ever had. And the war is actually, Harvard-Harris just came out with a poll. Stopping Iran from having a nuclear weapon is a positive thing, not a negative thing.
If I was on the ballot, we'd do great. Now, he's ignoring the fact that his polling is terrible. He said, my polling is great, and the war is actually polling quite well. If this is their strategy heading into the midterms, like we're effectively in midterm season right now. Like they're coming up. Everybody's got to get their messaging out. If I were the Democrats, I wouldn't say a word. I would just let Trump have all the time he wants. Let him have main stage. Like, he's only hurting it. Let them keep trying to bullshit the American people.
So, I mean, wow. What if you're MAGA right now and you're still supporting Trump and you're watching Fox News? Fox News is they're not really like going along with it, but they're just kind of letting them bullshit them.
It depends on what show you're watching.
Okay. So some of them are fighting back. Some of them are probably bullshitting alongside them. But like, if you're MAGA, you have to know that they're bullshitting you. Like,
I think more and more of them are waking up to it, and the polling's reflecting that. I think that here's the thing you have to remember: for all of MAGA and probably a lot of just Republicans, like, as mad as they get at Trump, that doesn't mean they're going to vote Democrat. Like, that's so key to know. Like, it's not like we can get them so mad at Trump that they're going to vote for AOC. Like, that's not
they'll
happening.
never vote. Yeah. They just won't vote.
And that's all we can hope for, is that their vote gets depressed. So, my scary thing here, I got to say, first of all, I'm excited. I don't know if you saw in Maine today. Have you been following the Maine Senate primaries at all?
Mm-mm.
So it's what is her name? Janet Mills. She's been the Democrat governor of Maine for a long time, and apparently she's well liked. She's done a good job. But when the Senate seat came up, Chuck Schumer talked her into running for Senate. She's like 78 or 79 years old, and she's establishment. There's a dude that's an oyster farmer that's also a former like army guy named Graham Plattner that has been just smoking her. And there's all kinds of like story after story, old internet posts he put out. Like, there's some bad stuff, some bad opposition research on him, and it doesn't seem to be affecting him at all. Like, they keep throwing out all this stuff. His numbers just keep getting better and better. He's a good speaker. He's kind of a Bernie type guy. I like him a lot, but he's not my kind of Democrat. Like, he's further left than I generally am, but also, like, I just like him. Like, I think he's a great speaker. He's a great communicator, and he has been up so much on Janet Mills for the past couple of weeks. Like, I want to say one of the polls had him up 40 points on her, but Chuck Schumer kept pumping DNC money into Janet Mills to try to fight this off. Finally, this morning, she dropped out of the race. So now it is officially Graham Plattner versus Susan Collins. Republicans are going to put so much money into that state to try to destroy him. It's going to be an interesting. Like, in the polling right now, he's up on her, but like by I want to say 4 or 5 points. But they have to hold the Senate, and in order to hold the Senate, they have to hold like Maine, Texas. I think if they just hold Maine and Texas, they hold the Senate. So you got Tallarico in Texas and Graham Plattner in Maine. They can lose all the other contested seats, but if they win those two, so you're going to see hardcore money going into hit pieces on Tallarico and Graham Plattner over the next couple of months.
Okay.
But I'm down with this little experiment because I've always been the kind where I don't want to run a far left candidate. Like I even though it didn't work with Kamala at all, I fully understand that. Like my thought
Was
is,
she a far left candidate?
No, she was a centrist candidate.
Okay.
She really was centrist. But here's the argument. I always say run a centrist candidate, and those independents and maybe even some moderate Republicans would be willing to vote for them. It makes sense in my head. But whoever you put up, they could be the most center Democrat ever. The Republicans are going to say they're far left, crazy, communist, whatever, and they're going to convince all the Republican voters of that. I don't know that you can really get any swing Republican voters. I want that to be true, but I just don't know it can be.
Well, look at what Mamdani's doing. Like,
so Mamdani worked, but that's New York, and that's a different thing. Maine is a really good test case for a Graham Plattner candidate. Like, I want to see how this does. If he wins Maine, this will tell me a lot about what kind of a candidate the left could potentially put up in 2028. Tallarico, not so much. Like Tallarico, they're going to try to make him seem super far left, but he's super religious. Like he's in my mind the kind of Democrat that can win in Texas, and he's up on both. He's up on Paxton and Cornyn by like 3 to 4 points on each of them. So things look good right now. There's plenty of time for things to go wrong, but right now, anyhow, I'm excited about that. Other than that, that is all I had on the economy. I know you brought a lot to the table tonight. What do you got?
I brought some stuff. Let's see what we're going on here. Do you want to go war?
I got some stuff on the war. Let's do it. What do you got?
All right. Iran just unveiled a new weapon. Have you seen this?
No, I'm excited to see it.
Okay, I'll let this video talk.
Abilities of the new Arash drone. That said, the drone likely has a range exceeding 2,000 kilometers, similar to its predecessor. The Arash 2 is a long-range, one-way attack drone designed for kamikaze missions. It can carry a warhead weighing between 150 and 260 kilograms and has a low radar cross-section, enabling it to reach targets in Israel from Iranian territory. It can also be launched from mobile platforms to overwhelm air defense systems.
The new Arash drones appear to closely resemble the shot.
So, them having a new drone, like I'm skeptical of a lot of things right now because they've been putting out AI videos from the start of this war, like showing new high-tech weapons they have, but then we've never actually seen them on the battlefield. So maybe they have this new drone, or maybe that was an AI video that were, I don't know.
It looks legit. It looks pretty legit.
So, yeah, yes, it looks legit. Like I said, they put out some videos of these, they were warning everybody that, we're using our old missiles first to deplete all the interceptor missiles. And then once that happens, then we're going to start sending, and they had a name for them, but these new high-tech missiles, and those missiles never entered the battlefield. Like we never saw those. So I'm skeptical of, I think us and Iran are both putting out some propaganda right now that is simply to confuse or scare the other side or make them prepare for something. It's smart tactically to make them prepare for something that they think you have that you really don't. I just don't know that I buy any of that.
Okay. Yeah. But it would make sense that, it's interesting that we're using drone warfare. Like that's the main warfare that's winning these wars at this point.
And all the military analysts, just so you know, have said that like clearly Iran was paying attention to Russia and Ukraine over the past 3 years, and America didn't seem to take any notes. Like they were prepared. Like the new way warfare is done is with drones, and Iran came ready to go, and we were caught off guard on it. Like we were not thinking this was going to be a drone war. Again, What were we were helping Ukraine. How were we not aware that this was the way this was going to go? I don't know.
What, like our military industrial complex. I actually listened to something earlier, and a $1.5 trillion is the amount that every other country in the world spends on their military, on their
Well,
defense.
what is it? Iran puts like 10 billion a year towards like their army, and they're somehow hanging in there against us. Like I say hanging in there. Our military is definitely decimating that country. It's just that there's no level of decimation that would equal them surrendering. Like they're not going to surrender.
Well, I've got a good video on that.
All right.
I'll share with you here in a minute. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I think the quote in this video, I'm just gonna throw it out there. It's if you can win all the battles and still lose the war.
I've been saying basically that for the last, what, 2 months at this point. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
our military is winning every conflict. But like, I don't think there's any winning this, period. Like, whatever kind of deal ends up happening at the end of this, I don't think we're going to, looking back at it, we're not going to call it a win. Like, I've said this before, but would you say that what happened in Iraq from 2003 to 2015 was that a win for America?
We got nothing. We spent a shit ton of money and we got nothing out of it.
What about Afghanistan?
Nothing. We got maybe poppy seeds. I don't know. I think maybe the poppy seeds were
possibly
a big thing. I don't know.
But our military definitely outshined both of their militaries, like by far. Like our military was by far superior to both of theirs, but we didn't win. Like there's no winning that. That's what we're at right now.
It's like the Karate Kid, right? The Karate Kid comes in with like his ripped up and like he looks like a normal what do you call it? Martial artist.
Wax on, wax off.
Wax off.
I
But
watched
then
the
the
Karate Kid
Cobra
movie.
Kai comes in and they're all shined up with their slicked back hair and they're like, yeah, we're just showing, and we're actually showing that we suck at war. Like right now, we actually look like idiots.
I disagree with that. I don't think that there's anything our military's done. Now, I think decisions that
Bombing a little girl's school?
Well, that's not that's somebody in the Pentagon. Like, there's a difference between like the leadership in the Pentagon and like our troops and commanders in the field.
Yeah, but Iran just showed that like the war has been, they're winning the war basically by shutting down one strait. They just shut down a strait because it's an economic war now. Like you can't win a actual battle. Like even Russia, what did they say it was going to take 2 weeks and it's been 4 years now?
Yeah.
Like you can't win an actual war all with ground troops. You have to economically defeat somebody these days.
So here's the thing: is I wouldn't say that Iran's winning the war, but I wouldn't say that anybody's winning. I'd say that we're in a quagmire, stalemate. Like
they're winning. I think they're winning. I think they've definitely won, or they're winning right now. The only way we can win this war is if we just decimate them, nuke them. Probably that's the only way to win.
That's scary to think about.
It's super scary,
Yeah.
and we have the craziest of crazies at the helm with the nuclear codes.
I think like a year from now, this is going to end with us signing a deal with them that's going to look just like the Iran nuclear deal that the Obama one. And Trump's going to try to claim it's a tremendous victory, and his people will take that. They'll all clap for him, and it'll be like, hold on, wait, this is the exact same deal Obama had.
What they're going to continue to charge? What was it? $1? What was that, million? So how many?
2 million a ship is what they're charging right
2
now.
million a ship.
Yeah.
So what is it per barrel? There it's like per
A dollar a barrel is what somebody was saying.
$1 a barrel. Okay,
Yeah.
so they're going to charge $1 a barrel to come in. So Iran still wins.
Like I said, I think at the end of this, they're not going to be getting tolls to go through the strait, and we'll be right back in something very similar to the Obama deal.
I think every strait in the world is going to start charging $1 a barrel.
I don't know why you would think that, but okay.
There's talk about other straits starting to charge money. Charge money.
Where is this talk?
I forget. I just heard about this. There's another strait that's like a big strait that ships oil, and they're going to start charging money. They're thinking about charging money at this point.
Okay. The other strait is it's where the Houthi rebels are basically guarding another strait over there. It goes through the Suez Canal, through the Red Sea, and out into like the Indian Ocean. And that's the Houthis have been basically saying that if firing starts back up, they're going to close down that strait. But that would still be Iran basically trying to close down 2 straits because the Houthis are an extension of Iran. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll be wrong. I just don't see all of a sudden every strait requiring a toll. Like, there's a whole freedom of navigation thing that like every country in the world has agreed to. Iran is violating that right now, and really nobody can stop them. But I think, like I said, I think eventually down the road we're going to end up signing what should be an embarrassing deal for us, and we're going to try to spin it as a victory. Trump will.
Of course.
That's my thought.
Of course. They're also winning at shit talking.
Yeah, and real quick, before we get into the Lego videos, this was just interesting to me. Did you see what Trump tweeted the other morning at 4 a.m.?
The 4 a.m.
4:05 a.m.
Iran can't get their act together. They don't know how to sign nuclear deals. They better get smart soon. President DJT. No more Mr. Nice Guys. The caption, it's Trump holding an AR with aviators on in front of, I'm guessing, a desert city being bombed.
That's a ridiculous tweet in itself. But like the fact that he posted it at 4:05 and his last tweet before that was like at 1 a.m. So I guess we're thinking that maybe he slept like sometime between 1 and 4, and then he woke up.
3-hour spurts.
I got a thought. Okay, you know how he tweets randomly through the night. Okay, he's old. Old guys, when they hit a certain age, you start having issues with your bladder. You can't sleep through the night. You got to wake up and pee a lot. And when you wake up in the middle of the night to take a little pee break, a lot of times it's a sit down pee break. It's the middle of the night. You don't. I don't know about you, but for me, I don't like to try to aim at night. I don't want to turn lights on. I go sit down.
Sit down?
I have a nice little sit down pee. Only at night. Okay.
Interesting.
But if I'm sitting down,
I'm gonna look at you differently from now on.
Just middle of the night's always a sit down pee. It's just relaxing. Anyhow,
do you ever fall asleep?
No, I haven't yet. One day I probably will. But I think he's got bladder issues, and he's waking up in the middle of the night, and he's taking his phone with him to the toilet, and he's sitting there for 3 or 4 minutes, and weird shit like this that he sees, he's just retweeting, just firing it off, and then he goes back to bed, and then his bladder gets him a couple hours later, and he gets up. So that's my theory on his middle of the night tweets.
But he also had to put the words together, and that seems more coherent than a 3 a.m. You know what? He might have an AI agent just tweeting for him throughout the day.
Okay, this one's not. Most of what he retweets overnight is just the retruths because they're on Truth Social. This one actually was written out, but a lot of it he just retruths stuff overnight.
You can have an AI agent do that throughout the night, and maybe he's doing that now just to mess with people.
What if he's sleeping like a baby? What if he's sleeping like 10 hours a night, but he's just like to make us think he's crazy like a fox?
He's got an AI agent that does that.
Maybe. Or maybe he's got some intern that he's paying to.
Could be, yeah.
He's got scheduled tweets going out all night long.
It would make sense if it was AI because some of the shit that he tweets is weird and crazy and like multiple times in the middle of the night of just crazy, weird QAnon stuff.
All the images that he tweets out are always images that started somewhere else. Like he sees them online and he'll either retruth it or he'll save that image and then truth it out as an original by him. Yeah. But he's not creating any of these images. And you are right. He did tweet out some QAnon stuff recently. Where did that hold on. I must not have sent it, damn it. Yeah, I didn't do the QAnon stuff. Sorry, but he has been tweeting out some QAnon stuff. He tweeted one the other day where it was like nothing can stop what is coming, and then underneath it said like the storm is coming, and that's straight on QAnon stuff. Like it's like, oh, we're bringing QAnon back. Cool, like awesome. I can't wait.
Great.
I hang out with it. There's a couple different people that I hang out with here in Oklahoma that I've always wondered because I didn't know anybody. I didn't move up here till after QAnon kind of fizzled out. But I got a couple guys that I hang out with that I think probably were into QAnon, and I almost am excited for QAnon to come back because I want to see how long before they bring it up to me. Like, hey, have you seen what Q's saying? Like, I got like 2 in particular that I think are gonna fall down this hole. So I think they've already been there. I think that they enjoyed it. So
okay,
yeah.
More on the war. Did you see that Israel, the Dark Force is killing more journalists?
I did not see more. We talked about the lady that she was trapped under a house, like fallen rubble for a while, and they kept hitting it. Is that who you're talking about?
And there was another guy in there.
Okay, I don't know about that. I remember that there was a lady.
Okay, yeah, I think that's the same thing that I was listening to earlier, but it was like a more in-depth conversation on it. We don't have to bring it up, but yeah, I mean, it's the thing about it is it's like she was saying that Israel wasn't allowing aid to get to them,
So
like they were blocking the aid.
they were it was a lady for sure. There might have been a guy, but she was trapped under the rubble of it. They'd already hit the house she was in once. She was alive under the rubble, and her cell phone was working. And she was calling people from under the rubble, saying like, "I'm alive. I need help." And every time different crews would show up, they'd double tap, triple tap, quadruple tap, and like finally one of the strikes got her all the way. But like,
Was this Amal Khalil?
I don't know her name.
Okay, here, watch this video.
So Amal was a reporter for a privately owned local daily newspaper called Al Akhbar, and she was on assignment. She was documenting the aftermath of attacks by Israel in southern Lebanon. And she and a freelance journalist called Zainab Faraj sought shelter in a building after a strike killed 2 civilians in a car that was nearby, in a vehicle nearby. They did that, then the building in which they took shelter was directly hit, and that trapped them under the rubble. And that's when we became aware of this. It became very clear that emergency services were being prevented by Israel from getting to this area. Khalil's colleagues were able to contact her while she was trapped, and they have told us that she was in good health after that strike in which she was trapped under the rubble. But when eventually the Red Cross was granted access to the site, she was found dead, and Faraj, unfortunately, is critically injured.
So yeah, that was the same lady. That was the story I saw.
Okay.
Ryan Graham, Dropsite News, had really terrific kind of a minute-by-minute breakdown of what happened there.
Okay.
Here's what kills me about this is every time in Gaza they never even really answered for killing journalists. But in Lebanon, they're actually having to put out statements, and every time they say, "Oh, well, that journalist was working with the enemy. They were giving away our location." Here's the thing. When a reporter is reporting, they say, "Hey, Israeli forces advanced today through the blah, 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 whatever city." That's how you report on a war.
Yeah.
And every time they would kill somebody, they say, "Well, look, they were giving away our position." No, they were reporting on, well, the army advanced to here today. Here's what's going. That's very standard in a conflict. If suddenly we say that every reporter that's reporting accurately on the war is taking a side, that's an unknown place. I don't know where we go there. So the fact that they're doing this, and it's really just America, like the rest of the world is really upset with how this is going down, and then America is blocking them from being able to do a damn thing about it. It's outrageous.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's very crazy. And the fact that like it's against the Geneva Convention to not let aid be rendered to a journal or anybody, I think, right?
I don't think we care about that anymore. Real quick, Hegseth was in front of Congress in the last couple days, and one of them asked him. They were like, "Hey, you said in a statement from the podium that no mercy, no quarter shall be given. Basically, we will take no prisoners." And they said that's against the Geneva Convention. You're telling your troops to commit a war crime. And I don't remember Hegseth's exact answer, but he didn't seem to care.
The whole hearing was a nightmare. The guy is a fucking lunatic. I mean, I've got a couple videos on that actually, and
before we watch this, my favorite part is that he's clearly like doing a performance, like what do they call it, performative outrage or something, and like he's trying to be a quick clip, to give a 10-second hit on whatever, and but then he continually accuses them of that, and it's just one of those where I'm like, what, like. They'll ask him a very logical question. He's like, "Oh, I know you're just out here performing, trying to get yourself on a quick clip online, but blah blah blah." And it's like, dude, that's what you're doing. Never mind.
That's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
The first one I have is they're talking about the price of war, right? And Hegseth and I guess our administration is saying it's $25 billion.
So just today, somebody from the Pentagon came out and said it's actually closer to 50. I think 50 is still lowballing it.
And that's just munitions, right?
So what the number he gave yesterday was just munitions, and then the Pentagon came out and said, well, maintenance of aircraft and this, all the other things, probably closer to 50 billion is what they said.
What about rebuilding all of our destroyed, completely obliterated air bases?
We haven't done that yet, so it hasn't cost us anything yet. It will cost us when we decide to if we go back.
Yeah, what about all these soldiers that come back with PTSD and I mean there's so much that adds into it and they're just saying 50, 25 and now 50 billion.
That's where I think 50 is still low. Plus, again, they're not factoring in like the cost to keep we have 3 aircraft carrier groups over there right now. Just the daily operating cost of those. And then on top of that, all these boats and all these planes and tanks and everything we got over there runs off of gasoline. And the price of gasoline's gone up, however much. Anyhow, I think they're way lowballing this.
And rebuilding our arsenal.
No, we haven't even started to do that yet.
No. And that's double what we spent, right?
So here's the thing. I think I would get if Hegseth is just telling us what we've spent to this point, then you wouldn't count in rebuilding the arsenal or the air bases or any of that. I get it. It's not right, but I get it. But I still think if you're just doing what we've spent so far, they're not factoring in everything. We have 50,000 troops over there hanging out right now. Like that, how much does that cost a day to keep those troops over there?
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Holy crap. Well, I want you to look at this Ro Khanna grilling kegsbreath.
I'm on it.
You can revise it. How much did it cost American taxpayers in terms of the strike to the Iranian school where kids were killed? Do you have that number? In terms of the missiles we used?
As I've said, that unfortunate situation remains under investigation.
You don't know how much it costs the taxpayer?
But I wouldn't tie a cost to anything.
It's a reasonable question, no, sir? I mean, our taxpayer money was going there. Do you know how much it will cost Americans in terms of their increased cost in gas and food over the next year because of the Iran war?
I would simply ask you what the cost is of an Iranian nuclear bomb.
I'm going to give you that opportunity.
I would simply ask you what you're playing gotcha questions about domestic things. I'm not.
You're saying it's a gotcha question to ask what it's going to be in terms of the increased cost.
Why won't you answer what it costs to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear bomb?
I give you that, sir. But let me.
What would it cost? What would you pay to ensure Iran doesn't get a nuclear bomb? What would you pay?
I reclaim my time. Do you not know? You had no one do the analysis of what the increased cost of gas and food on the American people are going to be?
What is the cost of Iran holding that straight at issue with nuclear weapons?
It's $631 billion, which means it's an increase of $5,000 a year for American households. Now, let me give you this point. You're saying that your operation is preventing a nuclear Iran. Will you acknowledge that there is an economic cost to the American people for doing what you believe is necessary to make Iran denuclear? Will you acknowledge the economic cost?
We have an incredible economic team that's managing this better than what the previous administration did to our economy, what the previous administration did with inflation,
you know what's upsetting?
I reclaim my time. With COVID, and you're going to lecture this administration about the economy?
You know what is upsetting?
Incredible.
You didn't even do the analysis on how much it's costing the American people. It's one thing if you said, okay, it costs the American people $5,000, but we think it's worth it. That's what we.
There's a lot in there.
Turn that into a campaign ad. That's the thing is like a lot of what they're doing right now. I'm like campaign ad, like they don't seem to care what this is costing the American people. They didn't ask
$5,000 a year per household.
Here's the thing. They didn't ask us if we wanted this war. In fact, if you just go off, the whole elections have consequences, like the people voted in favor of the no more wars candidate. Like that's where we're really at. And now we're doing more wars. And if you remember Trump, what was that, right at the beginning of the war when he gave that speech, it was like an Easter lunch, and he was like, we don't have money for Medicaid or Medicare. We're doing wars. Perfect. I can't wait.
That's an ad, yes. Yeah.
I can't wait to see the compilation. Put that together with Hegseth and all of and just.
Well, he can't even answer the question. He deflects to Biden.
Yep.
He starts blaming the Biden administration.
Remember,
he can't answer the fucking question. Just get your shit together, man.
During the first year, they kept blaming, well, we're still dealing with the remnants of the Biden, blah, blah, blah. And reporters kept asking, they were like, when will this be your economy? When will you stop blaming Biden? And they kept saying, Q3, Q4. Yeah,
that was last year.
Yeah, that was last year. Okay. No more
Since
blaming
then,
Biden.
it's just gone down.
And it's gone down because of decisions that they've actively made. Tariffs and starting a war in the Middle East have led to where we're at now. This didn't just happen to them. They did this. Anyhow.
100%. 100%. This watching kegsbreath, I like that.
Yeah.
answer these questions or not answer these questions just infuriates me so much. But I really like how some of these guys went after him, and I got another one from Representative Rokana.
Will you acknowledge that there were 970 pounds of uranium enriched after Trump tore up the JCPOA?
The JCPOA was a terrible deal that allowed Iran a path to a nuclear bomb.
You deal with vague platitudes. I'm asking you about numbers. Like, you don't know what gas costs, you don't know what food costs, you don't know what the operation costs. You know, I get sound bites, but how about numbers? Do you know how much the enriched uranium was after you ripped up the JCPOA? Trump did.
I'll give you a number. I know that, as was stated by early on, the price of gas is twice as expensive in California, your home state, as anywhere else in the country because of the horrible policies your state pursued.
You know what? It used to be that type of stuff worked, and then you started to lose the people that you campaigned you wanted to be for, because you said you wouldn't get us into bad wars. You said you would bring down the prices. You know what I'm sad for? I'm sad for all the people who voted for Trump. I'm sad for them because you betrayed them. You betrayed a lot of that MAGA base. And you know who knows that? J.D. Vance knows that.
Gentleman's time's expired. Chair now recognizes the gentleman.
Dude, I love that so much.
So Rokana is a dark horse candidate. I don't know about in 2028, but like he does well. He's a good communicator. Like, keep your eye on him. Like, he might not be the president, but he might be a VP at some point.
Yeah, he's good. I really do like what him. Do you know? So on Hegseth's plaque, it says HON.
Honorable.
Really?
Yeah, the Honorable Pete Hegseth. A lot of them.
Do we really have to call him honorable?
I think so. Unless if he was a cap, or you know what? Normally, and I thought I might be wrong on this, but normally it'll say like Secretary Besant or Secretary, and he's the Secretary of War of Defense. But it should say Secretary Hegseth, I would think.
Yeah, not HON. I don't like that. Do you think these people are going to go to jail? Do you think like Hegseth and JD Vance, maybe Marco Rubio? Do you think they're going to get thrown in jail for their crimes?
None of the three that you've named. And here's the thing: they can do some really shitty stuff and it not be a crime. Okay, I don't know that like JD Vance has committed a crime. I'd have
but
to
the administration has committed war crimes.
Yeah, so I don't think JD for sure. I really don't think Hegseth. Like Stephen Miller, like there you could. When it comes to all the ICE and CBB stuff and surging agents in and covering up a murder by ICE agents of that kid the guy in Minneapolis, like there's one or two of them that I think maybe, but for the most part, the rest of them are just doing really shady stuff that's in a gray area. It's not really straight illegal. So
I just want to see like 5 years from now, Hegseth and his family go to like France for vacation or something, and they just get swooped up by international courts.
So when George W. Bush was, he had like a warrant out for war crimes, international criminal court warrant, but they weren't going after his generals. It's whoever is at the top. So like Trump would potentially be on the hook for war crimes. I don't think Pete Hegseth would. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think so. Real quick, I forgot I have this real quick. But on the American approval of the war, this is quite interesting. The war in Iran is now the least popular war in modern history. It started at 43% disapproval, and now it is up to 61% disapproval. Even Vietnam, which was totally unpopular, only ever got to 60% disapproval.
Where are our hippies at?
I don't know.
We need the hippie movement to kick in.
I'm telling you, I don't even think we need it at this point. So, most unpopular war in modern history is all I'm going to say.
Vietnam was 20 years long?
So we didn't have American troops in the ground. The French were there first. The story of Vietnam is fascinating. Vietnam was a French colony after World War II. The France had control of it, and the French basically got chased out of there. And then we went in to try to. We'll show you how it's done. We'll straighten things out, and then we got stuck there for probably 9 or 10 years. So, yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, we might have had advisors on the ground in 55, but we were not. We didn't have full troops on the ground.
It's funny that Afghanistan was started at 9%. Like we were
Dude,
all gung ho about that.
if you remember that time after 2001, September 11th, like me and you were in high school, and I'm sure we were like, "Go get him!" Like we
I
were.
almost joined the military.
Yeah, we were all about it. Not the same feeling this time. Which I
No.
think here's another thing real quick. When we went into Iraq, there were a lot of people that were like, "Hold on, wait, Iraq? Why are we going to Iraq?" And the Bush administration was real good at this. But if you would question or complain about why we're doing this, any criticism of the president, of President Bush, they would say, "Well, if you're criticizing the president, you're really criticizing the troops." And we don't stand for, and they did a great job of that. We're like, oh no, I'm not criticizing the troops. I
Let me
swear.
guess, Rush Limbaugh led that fight.
I don't know who did, but that was that. And now Hegseth and Trump are trying to kind of do the same playbook, where it's like, well, hold on, if you're criticizing us, you saying that are you saying that the military isn't winning? Are you saying that our troops aren't doing a good job? No, I'm saying that you are making poor decisions. But they're trying to like do the same playbook as 2003 Iraq, and it's just not working. Just throwing that out there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I've got another one, and this kind of sums up the whole war. It's kind of a long clip, but I really liked it.
Big questions that we need to get answered today is, where is this going? What is the plan to achieve our objectives? We've seen the cost, and the cost is very, very high. All we keep hearing on the objectives is we keep seeing all of the targets that we have struck. And again, that is an incredible accomplishment from a tactical standpoint. I think the proficiency of our military has been on display, but we're not in this for a tactical advantage. We're in this to fundamentally change Iran. And as we sit here today, Iran's nuclear program is exactly what it was before this war started. They have not lost their capacity to inflict pain. They still have a ballistic missile program. They're still able to blockade the Strait of Hormuz and have the ships that are capable of doing that. What is the plan to get that to change? And most disturbingly, the president keeps telling us that it's over. What was it, a week ago Friday, the president announced that Iran had agreed to give up their nuclear program, to give up their ballistic missile program, to stop support for terrorist groups, to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The only problem with that is literally none of that was true. He was completely making it up. It wasn't. Iran hadn't even agreed to meet with us, as became embarrassingly clear as the day spun out and poor J.D. Vance had to keep going back and forth to the airport. We never even had a meeting. So wish fulfillment is not really a strategy. I mean, maybe the president thinks he's doing some sort of Jedi mind trick and can tell Iran, you will give up your nuclear weapons, and they automatically will. But that's not working. So what we need to hear today is what is going to work. We have 50,000 troops in the region who are still at risk. How are those tactical victories going to translate into some sort of strategic success? And by the way, this is one of the things that realism recognizes. You can win a whole lot of little small battles and lose the war, which is why you don't stumble into the war in the first place. But at the same time, we're doing all of this on our own as we increasingly push away all of our allies. Sometimes just because we want to do what we want to do, we don't want to have to consult them, sometimes just gratuitously insulting them. I mean, in the middle of this war where we were asking NATO to come join us, the president took time out to insult President Macron and his wife. Okay, how is that helping us to try and belittle everybody in the world? And I also, for the people who are criticizing NATO over this war, I will remind people that NATO is a defensive alliance. What that means is every country in it pledges to defend a country if attacked. And when we were attacked on 9/11, that's what NATO did. They put in Article 5, and for 20 years they fought beside us. NATO is not if any one of the countries decides to unilaterally and unwisely start a war precipitously that everyone else is supposed to join. That's not the way it works. So berating and belittling our allies after we did that and driving them ever further away from us, how is that realistic? Not only are we going to try to reshape the Middle East, but we're going to do it alone, while we're pushing everybody away from us.
So that guy, that's Representative Adam Smith, and I didn't know who he was till about 2 months ago, and I've seen him on TV a lot. Good communicator. I like that guy. I don't know what state he's from. I've seen several interviews with him, and I'm very impressed. And he's dead on everything he said there. I feel like we need to like make everybody watch that speech and just understand where we're at and how we got here.
It's a really good speech, and it sums up exactly what we're doing in this war. That's why I pulled it, and it's long. Maybe you can 2 times the speed or whatever, but he's a U.S. representative, 9th District of Washington.
Okay. Yeah, he's the ranking member on the it's whatever committee oversees the military. I can't remember what the name of it is, but good dude. I like him. So
Yeah, solid speech. I was excited when I found that. I was like, holy shit, this guy is actually just explaining the entire war.
Do you have any other videos on the war?
On the war, no. I've got one from Cash's hearing.
Okay, well, hold on. On the war, let me just say this. I didn't pull anything on this, but it came out like 2 days ago that like the president has requested that the Pentagon prepare like plans to do a limited strike on Iran here in the next week or two, I guess, to try to drive them back to the negotiating table. And when I saw that, I was like, that's probably like a bluff. Like we're trying to signal to them that we might start fighting again to scare them. And then I've seen several more times that no, apparently this is for real. They've already put together different options for the president. They've briefed him on it. There were a couple of people tonight that got a briefing from Hegseth, like a closed doors briefing, and they came out of it basically saying that from what they're seeing, they think we're about to start launching missiles again. Iran has made it very clear that if we start launching missiles again, they are going to go for everything. Like they're gonna hit all the spots that they were trying to be nice and not hit over there. Desalination plants and whatnot. So if Trump goes after bridges and power plants, they're going to go after desalination plants, and this thing's going to get right back up. Gas ain't coming down. Anyhow,
who's hitting whose desalination plants?
So if we hit the bridges and power plants in Iran, Iran is saying they're going to hit the desalination plants of like the UAE and Kuwait and Dubai, Bahrain. I can't remember.
Oh,
that's their threat.
Ooh. And I mean, I don't think Iran wants to negotiate. I think they think they're pretty much what we said. They kind of won this war. What I said, you didn't say that.
They said they're not going to negotiate until the U.S. removes its blockade, and we said we're not going to remove our blockade until they negotiate on nuclear. So that's where we're at. That's the standoff. So
it's never going to end. And if Iran starts going after the UAE's desalination plants and other countries' desalination plants, then these other countries are going to hate us. That's kind of where this is going, is like these other countries they're not blaming Iran, they're blaming us.
So, and one of Iran's 10 points that they want us to agree to is that we're going to remove all of our bases from the Middle East. We will never do that on our own, but it's getting close to a point where these countries might start looking around and going, hey, having the U.S. have a base here is not good for us. And they might politely ask that we not rebuild our base that's been destroyed over there.
Because we're not protecting them. We're not protecting them. We're only protecting Israel.
The thing is, I think I could see this happening because Trump can frame it as, well, the Western Hemisphere is really what we need to worry about. We need to worry about Cuba. So why do we have all these bases in the Middle East? We shouldn't. And he's going to try to make it seem like it was his idea. Like, yeah, of course, I want to pull the troops out of there because we shouldn't be meddling around in the Middle East after he just got done meddling around.
After meddling around in the Middle East.
But I think that's how he'll try to spin it. So I wouldn't be shocked if that happens.
Oh man.
Anyhow, what do you got on Cash?
So Cash was in a hearing too today. Was it today or yesterday? I don't know. Anyway, it's all going by so fast. And he got grilled pretty hard. This was over the firings of FBI agents, basically the ones that raided Trump's Mar-a-Lago.
And the ones that raided Mar-a-Lago, he fired right off the bat. Now he's firing anybody that even worked on the case, even in a minor role. They're firing. So anybody that had anything to do with it.
Which, yeah, I mean, it's just these political politics. They're firing people for, doing their job, basically. Yep. And I just wanted to pull this. I pulled this one video. It's Jasmine Crockett going hard at.
I know you love
hard at Cash.
I know you love some Jasmine Crockett. So
I do love some Jasmine Crockett.
But when I say that you are the least qualified FBI director in the history of the FBI, that is real because you are the only one that never even served with the FBI prior to joining, yet we are supposed to believe that
That's
you are
false.
the greatest thing since sliced bread. I didn't ask you a question. Now, what I want to go through is to talk about why you are a failure and why, honestly, we just need to tell you bye-bye. I know that you got a little upset and you put on your show for your boss because it seems like you're trying to save your job when it came to talking to Senator Booker yesterday. But let's go through some of your failures. So
let's go through some of your failures.
I didn't ask you a question. I just want to tell you why you're a failure, and we didn't tell you bye-bye. Oh my God. Let me just say, Jasmine Crockett's not my cup of tea, but every now and then, in moments like these, I get a kick out of it. Wasn't it her and Marge when she called Marge, like, what was it, like a bad built butch something? I can't remember what that. Remember that? Yeah. Okay. Again, she's not for me, but every now and then I get a kick out of it.
I like her. I think she's good. I think she's good for the party. I think she speaks her voice and she calls people out.
So I'll say this. Based off where our politics are today, it's one of those where like we all got to play by the same rules. So if the Republicans are going to have people doing crazy shit up there, we need to have some people on the left doing it too to fight back. I would rather her and both sides crazy people, and we just had some civilized people up there trying to get to the facts and whatnot in a civilized way. We're not there. That's not where our political system is. So it's good to have a Jasmine in these situations. I would rather we didn't have to have a Jasmine, is all I'm going to say.
And I get what you're saying. I agree that, like, you think about a congressman, a senator, or a House representative, or the president of the United States, or the vice president, like, they should be lawyerly. They should act in a manner that represents who we are and what we should be as a society and human decency.
And that's where
But the right fucking started it, and I am so glad that we have the left, some people on the left, like, she might be the only one that just goes hard at them.
She's the best at it.
She is.
I've joked about this before, but like if I could get reincarnated, if I had my choice to come back as anything, I want to come back as like a large black woman. Like the confidence that a large black woman has been like one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. She's not large, but she has the confidence of a large black woman. Like, you're not going to tell me what to do. I love that about her. So
she's amazing.
Yeah.
I like Joe. Okay.
I'll say this. During these hearings, the people that always impress me the most are the ones that just like get to, like, Senator Mark Kelly, when he was grilling Kash Patel. I think he did the best job, and he exposed, hey, how much was this? How much was that? Did you get authorization for this? Like, but it was kind of boring to the average person watching politics that wants to see a Jasmine Crockett yelling at Kash Patel or whatever. Like, that's what they're there for. I get it, and I get why that's exciting to watch, but like a Mark Kelly who's not flashy did a much better job. But it's not a clip we would want to play here. It's not entertaining, but like he got to the heart of some things, and
right.
That's all I'm going to say.
Right. So, but grilling these people is what needs to happen.
Yeah, I'm with you. I got one thing I want to end on real quick, just because it'll hopefully make you laugh. Comey, former FBI Director Comey, got indicted this week for his post that he put up like a year ago. He said, I found some seashells on the beach, interesting formation, and it said 8647. We talked about this way back when this happened. Everybody's like, he's threatening to kill the president. And it's like, 86 to me, and I get that everybody has a different meaning for 86.
No, there's a meaning to it. It's not kill. It's definitely not kill.
I think, and Trump was doing the whole, like, if you've seen the mob, I'll bet there's been times where somebody said, hey, 86 him, and they've been referring to killing him. I get it. I'll bet that's happened.
No, actually, somebody actually came out with a video today. It was an FBI agent saying that he has listened to thousands of hours of mob talk, and he's never heard them use the term 86.
I feel like they normally say, hey, why don't you take care of him? That's what I... But either way,
the term 86 has never come up, and it doesn't mean that. It means like if you're at a restaurant, which is where the term comes from, right? We use a lot in a restaurant. If you 86 something, it means just
it's off the menu.
Off the menu, get rid of it, kick them out,
during the Biden years, Jack Posobiec, one of the right-wing influencer types, he tweeted out 8646. He's not going to jail. They were selling shirts at one point that said 8646.
Who
anyhow,
was selling those?
I can't remember what group it was, but it was some anti-Joe Biden. The same people that were making the "Let's Go Brandon" flags, I'm sure. But anyhow, odds are this is not even going to get in front of a jury. There's a couple different pretrial motions: vindictive prosecution, selective prosecution. There's some First Amendment stuff. It's probably going to get thrown out. I'm not really that worried about it. But Lindsey Graham, it turns out, also has a seashell picture hanging out there. Okay. Let's see the message Lindsey has.
No. 6947.
Lindsey, you bad bitch, you. What does Lindsey want to do to the president? I don't know. Maybe that's AI. Who's to know? I don't know.
I don't know. It looks real.
Looks real enough to me. I'm going to go ahead and say that's probably real. Allegedly, that could be real.
6947.
Anyhow, I'm saving that for the end for you. So, other than that, have a great night and have a great weekend. Like and subscribe.
Peace.
And,
Like and subscribe.
Talk to you soon, buddy. Later.
Peace.
Sometimes you eat the bar, sometimes the bar eats you.